Oh, thank God it's starting to sprinkle. So we got the slightest little bit of rain. Shortly after I set this up, I had cleaned the leaves and things out of the gutter of the house. But I didn't like wipe the inside down to get the dust out of it, and I don't have a clean catch yet. And then it really blew when we got that tiny bit of rain. And so then there's a spot there where I joined two of them together, and it didn't stay hooked together. So it's starting to rain. I have that hooked together better. I need to find a different way to get this in there, so there's not that sag for the water to sit in. And I'm gonna right now let this water out because it looked maybe a little dirty. I'm not sure. Fingers crossed. Well, I was gonna open this and let that water out, but I can't. I'm assuming you have to push that little red dot to turn the lever, but I'm not able to read what that says. Okay, so here's another view. This part stayed there fine, and I didn't even get a zip tie around it yet. That part, I used a zip tie, but with my hands I couldn't get it tight enough. So I used a couple of zip ties and a couple of these little bungee cords, and that has worked. And then I zip tied it into the mouth of the tank, and I have a t-shirt to catch some of the dust or whatever. And so, yay. But I have to figure out a way to get this to kind of even that out, because it dips down a little and then goes up. I think I'm going to get a big fat PVC pipe PVC that's solid, and then find a way to like get an elbow so it stays down there and then runs up here to here, and then connect just this first part with a solid piece of PVC. But there'll be two different shapes. These are rectangles, and then the PVC pipe will be round. So I'll have to figure it out. So far it is catching rain, and so far we are supposed to have a decent amount of rain. So thinking about rain catchment during a drought, we're in drought, felt kind of weird, but it's a good thing I started, since I had it fall apart, the tubes fall apart to begin with. Okay, once again, fingers crossed. Good morning. Look at that. Got a little bit of rain yesterday evening, overnight, just a little bit. I don't know, did we have rain for like an hour? Steady rain, but not super hard. And look, so it's 275 and one and a half, a little more than 1.5 squares each. What am I doing? Yeah. Would be a third. So I have about a third of 275 gallons in there. So I'm going to town to pay my mortgage, and then I'm going to go to Harbor Freight and look at water transfer pumps and hoses. There's one that says it's got 100-foot upflow or something like that. That talks about the pressure somehow. I don't fully understand it, but that's how they judge them on pressure. So it's kind of expensive, but it's stronger than the rest I've looked at online at other places. So even if it doesn't work right, I can pull the truck down into the road that Steve and Wendy made for me. I had to move my my compost bin, makes it a little tight to get in there, but otherwise it's a really good road to driveway to get back in here, and I can just do gravity fed or the pump to get the water out, but maybe if the pump is strong enough, I can pump it up the hill. So I'm standing in the driveway near the house, about 18 feet from the water IBC tote, and my cistern is up there, so it's quite a steep slope, and I didn't measure to see how far it is, so I don't know if that's 100 feet, 40 feet, I don't know, but it is a steep slope. So we'll see if I can figure out, wouldn't it be wonderful if I could get the water to not have to put the tank back on my truck, pump it into my tank, drive it up the hill, and unload it. Wouldn't it be wonderful if I could just pump it in a hose up there? Even if it took a little bit of time, but that would be sweet. And I don't know that those transfer pumps are that strong. So, wish me luck. I am going into town out by where I work, where the Lowe's and Harbor Freights and all that are. And I'm gonna go look for pumps and hoses. Yay! Success! I'm doing a practice run of moving water a little bit from the IBC tote rain catch to my truck tank. So I take it up the hill. This hose is 100 foot long because the pump said head space or some head lift 100 foot. So I was thinking if my cistern is 100 foot up the hill, maybe it'll pump all the way up there. So I used an old garden hose laying around, spliced it with a new end and a new, it's got like a strainer, this thing came with the strainer. So the strainer end is in the tank. It goes to the old hose, I've got bunches of hose. This is my actual garden hose. And then I have a different hose spliced to go from the pump to the tank, and then this 100 foot thing, which I don't need this 100 foot hose if I'm just going to do it like this, because it takes a long time for the water to get around in there, and I don't know if it's straining the machine. Probably straining the machine more than it should. So let me get down and show you from the ground. I'm sitting in the truck now. Let me get on the ground. So I have this on here because sometimes this on and off valve is too hard for me to do. So this gives me a little more leverage. So yeah, so I'm up to there so far. It's not filling as fast as a 3-inch hose would, of course. This is 1 inch, and that I spliced, that really old hose, is 3/4, I think, inch. So I probably think I just need maybe a 1-inch hose, short piece from there to there, and then a 1-inch hose, short piece from here to here. Anyway, please forgive all the mess. I was going to use one of those boards to help prop up the hose to get that dip out of it, but I haven't got that far to figure out how to do that. So this is my messy looking water project. I'm very proud of this. I don't think we're expecting any more rain until maybe next week. So I know that my IBC tote's not going to get filled unless we have unexpected rain, which the weather forecasts up here are terrible. But I wanted to give it a test run to make sure I knew how to use the machine before we get more rain. So, seems to be working. I'll take a picture of my little pump in the specs and add it at the end in case you're interested. I got it at Harbor Freight, And then I had to go to Lowe's because the hoses were almost all sold out at the Harbor Freight. So I had to get hoses, and then I'd get those little rubber gasket washer things because mine fell out of my garden hose. And then when I was trying to use it to wash down things and to water my green stalks, it was leaking all over. So I bought some splicing end pieces, male and female, and I'm glad I did because I ran over the end of this, not this long, my other hose I ran over with the lawnmower a year ago or whatever, so I went and cut that up for this project. But this is my good garden hose that I use for the veggie garden out front. So I got a washer for that. I got end pieces for splicing for this project, and I just need to either salvage enough out of that hose that I ran over with the lawnmower, which I don't think I can salvage enough out of it, just so I have a little piece to go from here to here, because I don't think I need 100 foot here. And then fingers crossed that maybe I can find a way to just push the water up the hill without using the tank. Yes, the chickens are irritated because I went and did errands this morning, and they didn't get let out until just now. It's 3 o'clock, I think. And so they'll probably be going to bed soon. So they're not real thrilled that they just got out. So they're making all kinds of noise at me with all my new gadgets and their irritation. Okay, see ya.